Not being a total chart geek like me, you might not know that America stormed out of the gates with 4 consecutive top 40 singles, but single number 5 could only reach 62. Let's find out why. Hey, and welcome again to Acting is Reacting with me, JSB, where today I'm looking back to the early years of America, a band, not the country, and I'm revisiting the track that, for the first time, saw them land out of the US top 40 and into the bottom 60. The track in question is Only in Your Heart, which closed side 1 of their second and, I would argue, best album, 1972's Homecoming. A few years later, it would also serve as the side 1 closer on their greatest hits set history, and being included on that release probably rescued it from, I would say, undeserved obscurity. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So the song was written and sung by band member Gerry Beckley, and for those who can't tell their Americans apart, he's what I would refer to as the cute, specky one. Hope that helps. And it features, of course, him along with Dewey Burnell and Dan Peake on guitars and piano and vocals, and session aces Joe Osborne on bass and the legendary Hal Blaine on the drums. Now, Blaine would make a massive contribution to this song, as we shall find out. So let's give it a fresh listen and see if we think it should have been a bigger hit, or work out why it wasn't. Now.
Gerry, have you seen better days? Will you find different ways? And does he really mean that much to your heart? Carry all of the weight you can. Find another man and lead him directly there to the source. You've got to chart his course, 'cause it is only in your heart, this thing that makes you want to start it all again. Wake up from an elusive dream. You've got to change the scene. It's getting so hard to see to the end. Break down all of the walls you can. You need a helping hand. I'm sure there's someone there just for you. He's trying to make it too. 'Cause it is only in your heart, this thing that makes you want to start it all again. Only in your heart, this thing that makes you want to start it all again. You can't disregard your friends, but life gets so hard when you reach the end. Mary, have you seen better days? 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 Have you seen better days? Have you seen better days?
And that might have been where the song ended, except it's still not quite over. Wait for it. Most people miss that bit. Here we are, America, and Only in Your Heart. I hope you liked it. If so, make sure to smash that like button on this video. Ta. Now, that song was, as you might have gleaned during the reaction, initially written to be just a little bit over 2 minutes, but when recording it, Hal Blaine played that big drum fill and explained he felt that there was more space in the song left to explore. So Gerry Beckley took that spark and ran with it, leading to that backwards guitar section and all those interesting effects. Certainly very far out for 1972, and of course that closes the tune as we know it today. I would link it to the jam at the end of Rosanna by Toto. It's something that happened only because you have a group of great musicians in the room playing together and being inspired by each other. You don't get the same feel when everyone's just doing their bits on their different Pro Tools and sending it off into the digital world. That's my old-fashioned opinion, and I'm sticking to it. So why didn't it manage to chart any higher than 62? Well, great as it is, maybe that slightly trippy outro was a bit too experimental for AM listeners in 72, 73. And of course, it was the third single from the album in a time where third singles themselves were pretty rare and big hit third singles rarer still, so it didn't stand much of a chance of massive chart success, if we're honest. That said, maybe another Beckley tune from the album, To Each His Own, might have fared a little better had it been given the nod instead, but we'll never know. Either way, Only in Your Heart stands to me as an America classic and to my mind should have been a bigger hit. America's third album saw them hit a bump in the road. Hat Trick's lead single, which I can't even bring myself to name. Well, whatever that song was, it barely cracked the top 100. But if they were down, they weren't out. Their fourth album, Holiday, began a long run of albums produced for them by the great George Martin and put them right back on top. In fact, it landed them 2 top 5 singles. So to find out which ones those were and which one is my favourite, check one side of my head, there's something else on the other for you to check out as well. So I would just say bye for now, but not for long.
Acting is reacting. This does not mean acting again.